this is Overpass Insights. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today, maybe your client just isn't that into you. Okay, so one of the questions I get a lot is about whether or not someone should become a software developer at all. I get this a lot, especially from younger people saying, is it worth, in 2020, is it worth being a software developer? Is this something that I should do? And my answer is always yes. There is loads of opportunity out there. And every time something moves on, it advances, there's more opportunity for us software developers. And you can make the argument that it's too saturated, which, it might be a little bit more saturated than it was before, but there's also so much more out there that needs to be done. I mean, I know lots of people come to us and say, I need an app developed, or companies say, they need an application developed, or they know that their app is too old and they need to redo it. And even after this whole pandemic and everything that we had, there's a lot of companies that were brick and mortar, and they're starting to look at going more towards the software route, right? They have to play catch up because, they don't want to get caught out again. So there's loads of opportunity. Now, despite there being loads of opportunity, not all of that opportunity is for you, right? There's lots of times where we start off on a project and whatever happens, it just doesn't go through, right? It could be something in the beginning stages where, very frequently, like we're pitching for a project and for whatever reason they decide to move on or to go with another company. That happens. It happens, it's the way it should work. Sometimes we'll have people come to us and we just, for whatever reason, maybe we're too busy, maybe that we don't have the capabilities they want, we say, okay, we're going to pass on that project. And other times, it could be going through all the requirements gathering. We've done a lot of meetings, we've done a lot of work on the proposals, and it just doesn't go through after that. And usually we're at this point where we've given a quote, we're still mapping out a few things, no money has changed hands yet, and sometimes, believe it or not, I will put off the initial invoice just to make sure that I'm happy with the client that we're going with. Right, so sometimes it'll be, and I know that they're doing the same, right? So we'll be in those initial stages and we're trying to decide whether or not we're going with the project. We've delivered the quote. They may, bargain us down a little bit, or, they may be introducing new features where we say, okay, that quote no longer exists. We have to change everything like that, and all that kind of stuff happens. And in that whole stage, they're examining everything that I do to see whether or not they still want to work with me, and I'm doing the same thing. Right? I'm constantly watching things because you don't want to get the wrong client, because anybody who's ever worked with clients knows what it's like if you have the wrong client, or what it's like when you've taken on a client which you probably knew you shouldn't have, but you really needed the money. So I'm always really skeptical about that kind of stuff. But sometimes, and this is not so often, I turn down a client because we just aren't what they're looking for, right? And I have to do this once before, and I had to do it just recently. So we have we've been working on this project, doing the proposal, doing a lot of work, had a lot of meetings, a lot of mock-ups. Several hours have gone into this kind of thing. And one of the things that I do is I get Sandy, my designer, to send a design, just send some mock-ups through based on what they want. So that way we just sort of keep the excitement levels high, and then that way we don't have to worry about design so much further down the road, because design will eat up a project's budget like nothing else, right? So she did. She sent through some designs, just some mock-ups, right? And the response was, it wasn't, it was like, by the way, I looked at the designs. I thought they were amazing. I thought, some of her best work ever, right? It was like, I thought, oh, it was really good. I'm just, you're just waiting for the wow email back. And it came back as this isn't what I was looking for. I would have expected more. I'm a bit, disappointed. Really harsh criticism, right? Which is, okay, so I was like, and at first, I was more offended about it than anybody else. Like, actually, I don't think we're going to take this project. And my designer, she's like, let me give me one more chance. So she sends another set of designs through. And by the way, she's the best we have. 9 times out of 10, our clients are like, wow, okay, we could go with this. So it's like she's a ringer. She's our closer. She goes in and gets the jobs over. And we got kind of the same lukewarm response. And then finally, I just had to send an email saying, I don't think we're the company you should work with, right? I don't think you're as into us as you think you are, right? I've shown all my cards and I have nothing else, right? That's all we have. And if you're not happy with the design, then you either bring in another designer, which is something's going to have to happen, because design, already I know design on this project is going to be a huge chunk of it, because of the short interactions that we've had, right? If somebody's like really difficult to please, then you don't want something subjective like design to go through with it on them, right? And it's kind of embarrassing to say, like it's so rare that it happens, but some people just are. This is going to be my baby, and I need to look exactly perfect, and I can't tell you what perfect is yet. So in that kind of situation, it's like, okay, you either need to go get a different designer to work with us, or you need to, or go with another developer. I'm happy to just go with another developer, because that's just we're not the people you're looking for. And this, like I said, this has happened before, where I had to say to somebody, I don't think we're the development company you're looking for. And the response was, yeah, but you're the only one I can afford. Which was like, huh. Like, it was just, ooh, that was not what I wanted to hear. That was like, imagine going on a date, and you're going on a date with somebody who's complaining about you all the time, and then you're saying, well, maybe you should not be dating me, you should date somebody else. Who's, yeah, but you're the only one who would go out with me. That's not what you want to hear, right? So it was, I'm bringing this up just because some of you guys will work with clients, and you have to be choosy. They're going to be watching you, and they're going to be making decisions on you based on whether or not you could do it, but you have to be choosy too. And I know in the beginning you take whatever job you could get to get the revenue in, but at some point you got to be, this is not the right client for us. We're going to, ideally we want a client that we're going to be working with not just for the few months of the project, but like all the updates going forward for new projects. I want the same way when you're a kid and you go on a date, you want the person to like you as much as you like them. I want our clients to be impressed with us the same way that that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to impress them. And if we can't in the beginning, gotta let them go. But let me know what you guys disagree. And I know, maybe that's not professional, but it's just the way I do things. So let me know if you guys disagree with me. Have you ever had a situation where you had a client who wanted to work with you, and you just decided not to, and why was that? Don't be too specific in case they ever read it, but I'd be really interested to hear that, because it seems to happen more and more with us. So anyway, that is it for today. I'll talk to you guys again next time.
Just getting deep now. What does getting